You've clicked on a question about why you need a lawyer. I hope I can answer that for you. It may be tempting to try to represent yourself, to try to help yourself without paying a portion of your recovery to a lawyer. Be careful. If you try to negotiate with the insurance company independently on your own, they're going to get information from you they're not entitled to. They're going to get you to give statements that you may not want to give. You've not been through this. We deal with it every day. You've been seriously hurt. You're playing with fire if you try to deal with an insurance company who's in the business of collecting premiums rather than paying benefits and paying coverages. Their interest, no matter how nice they may seem, isn't in helping you. Once they dig into a position, they set what's called a reserve. If they're negotiating directly with you and they believe they're going to be able to settle the case with you without a lawyer, your reserves will be set lower. Surveys for years, generations have shown that when someone's injured and they hire a lawyer, they get multiples of what they get on their own. If you deal with the insurance company for too long, they're going to get entrenched in their position, and you're not going to be able to get them out of it. When you hire us at that point, we'll file suit. We need to give them an excuse to change the value they put on the case. They'll up their reserves once they're dealing with us, and they'll find reasons for why they did that. But really, if we were in the case from the beginning, the reserves would have been set differently than if they think they're going to be able to deal with you directly. Also, very important, when we get hired early by a client, if it's a very serious crash, think about police with the crime scene, the way they lock it down for up to 48 hours. The reason is they're preserving evidence. It's very similar in a major crash. We get to the scene with engineers, with investigators. We track down witnesses. We get recorded witness statements. I have won cases with statements I've gotten within days of a crash. There's 2 instances, in fact, I can think of off the top of my head, where we won a case primarily because of a statement I obtained within the first couple of days after the crash. One was a major truck crash that happened in a blizzard, one of the biggest crashes in our state's history, up near Clarion, Pennsylvania, in northwestern PA, where a truck was leading a pack of vehicles in a blizzard, in a whiteout, and lost control and caused 70 trucks to be involved in a huge crash. I was able to get the driver that caused the crash to admit it in a recorded statement just days after the crash. Only a day or 2 after that, his employer shut him up. This is common. Insurance companies will tell their insured not to speak to any other lawyers. If we can get to them before they're told to dummy up, we can get statements that win the case. Other times, after a crash, when there's a lot of emotion, we can get witnesses to be more involved than later on, and their facts are fresher in their mind. In another case, a catastrophic crash where our client ran out of gas on a highway. The truck driver rear-ended him, and you would think because he was blocking the right lane, it was his fault. But in fact, we were able, through a witness, to prove that the demeanor of the truck driver was odd, that he didn't seem normal. We were able to prove ultimately that he wasn't of right mind, that he was taking methamphetamines. There was a hair sample, but it was not definitive. That, coupled with the witness statement, made it definitive. That witness we reached within 3 days of the crash. He made the case for us. If we lose the opportunity to get to witnesses, to get video, and video is one more thing you should know about. Most video that will capture a crash will be erased within 7 to 21 days of a crash. So if it's an ATM camera that's nearby, if it's a security camera at a house, if it's a camera anywhere near the scene of the crash, that's on a loop. It's recorded on a loop. And within that time period, 7 to 21 days, the loop will tape over whatever was on it at that time. We need to get there early, get a hold of that video. If the owner of that video won't cooperate, we get right into court, get an emergency order, and we'll get it. So there's so many reasons to consider hiring a lawyer and hiring your lawyer early so that they can take care of your case, they can take care of you, and they can preserve all the key evidence that will help us win for you. I hope this information has been helpful. Thanks.